If you've ever had someone linger at the buy button, hesitate at the final step, give you a maybe, or tell you this sounds amazing, but then this episode's for you. Today, we're exploring 3 reframing patterns that you can use in your messaging that gently shift hesitation into action and help your premium buyers feel confident saying yes. Welcome to 7-Figure Copy, the show where I teach you how to create powerful strategic messaging so you can attract high-paying clients and scale your business to the next level with ease. I'm Gina Whitehouse, your expert conversion copywriter, and this podcast is for ambitious, value-driven female entrepreneurs like you who are ready to scale from 6 to 7 figures without sacrificing what matters most: your values, your time, and your family. In each episode, we'll dive into the art of crafting persuasive words for high-converting websites and sales pages, and you'll learn strategic copy techniques so you attract premium clients and boost your revenue. This podcast was created to help you tackle the challenges of balancing family life and business growth as you take your business to the next level. If you're ready to add a trusted partner to your team, making sure your message is compelling, consistent, and impactful, then you're in the right place. You guys, I am so glad you are back here with me today. My name is Gina Whitehouse. I'm the host of the 7-Figure Copy podcast. I'm your expert conversion copywriter, and today's episode is a fun one. We're going to go behind the scenes of buyer psychology because your copy shouldn't just explain, it also needs to guide belief. And that's what these 3 patterns are designed to do. They help reframe the way your ideal client or customer sees a perceived problem, so it no longer stands between them and the decision they already want to make. So let's get into this topic. All right, your premium buyer isn't saying no or hanging on a maybe because they don't want the outcome. They're saying no because something in your copy didn't resolve their concern. So it could be the price, it could be the belief that they're not ready perhaps, or they may be worrying that it's not going to work for them. And here's what I want you to hear. Most objections can't just be overcome. They actually need to be reframed. Now, we don't do this by pushing harder, but instead we offer a new perspective. And these 3 copy patterns I'm sharing today are powerful ways to do just that. And this is a way that you can do it ethically and with empathy. So I'm going to go through these 3 sales psychology patterns that help your audience feel seen and safe enough to say yes. And I'm going to give you a lot of examples today. So listen up. The first pattern we are talking about, I am calling the zoom out and reframe it. Okay. This pattern helps your audience see their objection as part of a larger context, one that flips the meaning. So zoom out and reframe it is going to help your audience recognize that the very thing they're hesitating about is actually part of the larger opportunity that they care about. So instead of debating their concern, you zoom out and show how it fits into a broader truth, priority, or transformation. So our first example here is going to be for a product-based business. We're going to call it a skincare business. And here's their objection. This person says, I already have a drawer full of skincare. I don't need more. All right, we're going to reframe this using our zoom out and reframe it psychology pattern. So in your copy, you would write, if your drawer is already full, but your skin isn't improving, maybe it's time for a different approach. Our toxic-free skincare doesn't just mask problems. It's designed to reset your skin's health from the inside out. So do you see how we zoomed out from the drawer to a deeper problem? You're not arguing with them. You're just offering a new reframe to this hesitation they have. So here's what we did. We acknowledged their concern by saying, okay, they said, that they have a full drawer and that they've already tried other products. So we have acknowledged this concern that they have by saying, okay, yes, your drawer is already full, but your skin isn't improving. So we zoomed out to a deeper issue. The deeper issue is that person has lots of products, but they still don't have a real solution. So what we did was we offered a new reframe. We said, this isn't just another product. It's a different approach rooted in healing and not hiding. Okay. We say it's designed to reset your skin's health from the inside out. We mentioned that this skincare doesn't just mask problems. So this is a great way to approach this objection when someone says, I already have so much of this. I don't need more. But then you come back and say, Yeah, you have so much of this, but it's not working yet. Can I offer you a different solution? Here's another example, and this is for a business coach who works with women who find themselves in chaos and have a hard time executing the things in their business that they need to get done. So here's the objection. The person who's objecting to this group program that this business coach is selling is thinking, I need to get more organized before joining your program. Okay, well, we hear that, right? We hear, okay, yeah, you need to be organized, but maybe that's the reason why you need to join this program, right? So we can reframe this objection and give a response that says something like this. It says, I hear that. And if you already had a clear system, you wouldn't need this. That's the whole point. This isn't for people who are already consistent. It's for those who are stuck in the cycle of stop, start momentum. The first module in this program helps you create structure even in the midst of the chaos you're finding yourself in. So as you can see here, we have zoomed out from the need to get it together first, and we've reframed it around the value of getting it together inside the program. We're saying, yeah, you don't have it together because this is the program that you need to help you get it together. So don't make, I don't have it all together, I'm not organized yet, keep you from being in the program, because this is what the program's going to help you with. So when you actually zoom out, you help them realize that this is the thing they're stuck on. It's actually why they need your offer and not a reason to say no. Let's talk about pattern 2, and I'm calling this the put your priorities in order psychological pattern, okay? This method is all about gently reorganizing what matters most without telling someone they're wrong. No one wants to hear they're wrong, right? You want your audience to reevaluate what matters most without shaming their current priorities. So you're not telling them that they're wrong. Instead, you're helping them reorder what's really worth their time, their energy, and their investment. The first example I'm going to give you again is for a service-based provider. Let's say that this is a podcast editor. And the objection that this podcast editor keeps getting is, I don't know if I can afford to outsource editing. So we're going to reframe this and we're going to say, I totally understand, but if editing is eating up 4 to 6 hours a week, what's that time worth to you? Because when you hand this off, you get those hours back to focus on what only you can do, like landing sponsors or growing your audience. I love that answer, right? Because we're taking, this idea of time and we're saying this is costing you 4 to 6 hours a week. What could you actually do with that time? How can you even grow your revenue with that extra time if you just outsource your podcast editing to me? Okay. So you're not saying that editing isn't expensive. You're saying what it costs to do it yourself might be even more. This works, right? Because we're validating the objection. We're saying, that we understand. So that's a great way to always start your response here. You're like, I get that. I understand. And then we're shifting the focus from money to actually time. Did you notice that? It reframes the decision not as a financial one, but as a return on time investment. It invites the listener to consider the hidden cost, right? Because there is always a hidden cost of doing it yourself, which is time that really could be spent on revenue generating activities. Wouldn't you agree? If you've ever thought, I know my offer helps people, but I'm not sure if my sales page is motivating people to buy, I want you to know right now that you are not alone. Let's get you from second guessing every word to selling your service, product, or program with confidence and clarity ASAP. Today, I'm inviting you to book a 30-minute complimentary copy chat with me to find out whether you need a strategic copy audit of your existing sales page or if you need a newly written, high-converting, done-for-you sales page. Let's make your offer sell easier, attract the right fit people, and make them think, how did she get in my head? Go to the show notes to book your call today or go to my website at whitehousesm.com. Lastly, we're not arguing here, right? We're just reordering the priorities. So you're not saying editing is cheap or unimportant. You're actually saying if your time is more valuable elsewhere, editing might not be the best use of it. And so that's the powerful shift that we want to make for those who have this kind of objection. Another example is for a service-based business. Let's say this is a registered dietitian that focuses on gut health. Okay. So the objection that they may hear is, I want to fix my gut issues, but right now I'm focusing on losing weight. This is a popular one. Okay. Here's a reframe for that. This dietitian can say, I totally get that, but here's the thing. When your guts off, it can make everything harder. Weight loss, energy, sleep, focus, it's all connected. So fixing your gut isn't a detour, it's actually the foundation. And when that's working, everything else gets easier. So this works because we're acknowledging their current goal, which is weight loss, but we're introducing a deeper root cause, which is the gut, how gut health affects weight and more other things, even like your sleep. And it reorganizes the priorities without criticism, right? Gut healing, we're showing, is not a separate thing. It's actually the path that's going to get them to seeing the weight loss they want. So this reframing works because you're not denying your goal, you're validating it. Then you're showing how your solution actually helps them reach it faster and more sustainably. Can't say that. So you're not fighting the objection they have. You're just flipping the frame so it aligns your offer with their real goal. This is the last pattern we're going to talk about, and I'm calling it shrink the problem, widen the vision. Okay. So this one expands the outcome and shrinks the perceived issue by helping your audience zoom out to a broader, more powerful view. So the example I'm going to start with is a business coach again, who has a group program. And the objection this person might be hearing is, I don't know if now is the right time to invest. I'm still figuring things out. So let's go through the reframe. This business coach could respond and say, this isn't just about the next 8 weeks. This program is about building messaging you'll use to attract the right clients for years. Waiting means staying stuck longer and missing out on the growth that could actually be happening now. So you're showing them that the investment isn't just for the present, that it's a decision that shapes their future. Now, this example works because it shifts the focus away from the short-term discomfort of investing now and redirects attention toward the long-term payoff, which is what your ideal client truly cares about. So let's look at this as a breakdown. Let's break it down a little bit, okay, and show you why it's effective. First, it normalizes their hesitation, right? It says, if the person says, I don't know if now is the right time, that's a valid concern, especially for someone who's thoughtful, who is a strategic buyer. This is really a common thing. I mean, I think this myself every time I think about jumping into some kind of new investment for my business or something I want to buy. I think, is this the right time? So this reframe, the response, it doesn't dismiss that. It just meets them where they're at, right? And then the second thing, it widens the time horizon. So the original objection, right, is rooted in the now, but the reframe actually expands the lens of time. It's when we say, this isn't just about the next 8 weeks. This is about messaging you'll use for years. So when you widen that time frame, you're shifting their thinking from present to future transformation. It also repositions the risk. So instead of focusing on the risk of saying yes, you're subtly highlighting the cost of saying no, right? It's when we said waiting means staying stuck longer and missing out on the growth that could already be happening now. So the risk isn't taking action. The risk is actually showing them that it's a risk to stay where they're at right now. And lastly, this reframe, it empowers the buyer, okay? It doesn't pressure them. It just clarifies. It says, you're in control, but here's really what's at stake if you stay at the place you're at now. Okay, I know I've given you so many examples here, but I think that sometimes it's just hard to grasp these ideas. So I have one more example for you in this pattern. So this is going to be for a service-based business. Let's say it is a pediatric occupational therapist. And the objection she hears a lot is, I'm not sure my child's delays are that serious. Maybe we should just wait and see. And so we're going to reframe this with our shrink the problem, widen the vision pattern and say back, I totally understand, but therapy isn't just about fixing problems. It's about opening doors. When we start early, we can give your child a head start with skills that help them feel more confident, capable, and connected now and in the years to come. So why does this work? It works because you're not dismissing their concern or pushing a diagnosis. Instead, you're gently shrinking the fear of jumping in too early and expanding their vision of what's possible. So you're reframing therapy from a reaction to a problem into a proactive gift for their child's development. So at the core, This pattern reminds your buyer that taking action now isn't just about solving a problem, it's about stepping into the future, that transformation that they want sooner. So I want you to think right now, I want you to imagine this. Imagine that you're sitting across the table from your best friend and she's swirling around the ice in her drink, all right, while you're talking, and she's telling you all the reasons that she's hesitating about buying something or investing in something big in her life, about some kind of decision. And you can see it so clearly. Have you ever been in this situation where someone's just talking to you and it's like they don't know what to do, but you see it very clearly? You actually see what's possible if she says yes to this opportunity, but you also see what she's giving up by saying no. So you gently lean in and say, listen, I get it. It's scary, but you've been stuck here for a while. What if this is a thing that moves you forward? What if you finally stop second guessing yourself? So as you share that with her, you're not being pushy. You're just being honest. You're helping her zoom out from the fear and into the bigger picture that's waiting. So that's what these reframes do. It's not about overcoming objections with slick words. It's about sitting with your audience the same way you'd sit with your best friend, with compassion, with clarity, and with a genuine desire to help them make the right decision, even if that decision is no. Because when someone can feel your heart in the copy, that's when trust is built, and that's when the real yes starts to take shape. Okay, I have a quick reminder here for you. If you want to keep these reframing techniques handy without re-listening or taking your own notes, the full notes from this episode are inside the Yes Vault. So inside the Yes Vault, you'll get a printable breakdown of all 3 reframe methods we covered today, and you're also going to get these examples I used, okay? And you're going to get the episode notes from all of the episodes from this season so far. Okay, so they're organized, they're ready to download and for you to put in a binder so that you can keep them. You're going to get access to the 3 private videos that show you what strong, high-converting copy actually looks like so you can see the difference and apply it to your own messaging. You're also going to get guest resources and anything extra bonus type stuff that I put there during this season. So if you want access to the Yes Vault, just head to whitehousesm.com/the Yes Vault, and you can unlock it for just $14 today. Here's your action step for the week. I want you to open your sales page, or it could be an email sequence, like a sales sequence, I would say. Find one section where you are addressing an objection or should be, and try one of these 3 patterns. Remember, you have the zoom out and reframe it pattern, the put their priorities in order pattern, and the shrink the problem, widen the vision pattern. But remember this, we want to write like someone who truly wants what's best for our ideal customer or client, not just a sale. So that means using strategic reframes to help them move past hesitation, but doing it with heart. We're not doing it to manipulate, but we're just doing it to clarify and for them to see another perspective on that objection they may have. Because sometimes people aren't saying no to your offer, okay? They're just saying no to the fear that comes with making a decision. And your job is to help them see what's possible beyond that fear. So when you zoom out and reframe it, you help them see the bigger picture. When you reorder their priorities, you help them recognize what really matters. And when you shrink the problem and widen the vision, you give them a hopeful path forward. These are not pressure tactics. They're just perspective shifts offered with empathy and care, right? Because when someone feels understood or empowered, that's when they're most ready to say yes. If today's reframing strategies sparked some ideas, you'll definitely want to go back and listen to episode 25. It's titled, If You're Not Addressing Objections, You're Leaving Money on the Table. It's a powerful breakdown of how to spot, write, and weave in objections in your copy, so you're actually building trust and increasing conversions without sounding salesy. So thank you so much for joining me this time. I will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of 7-Figure Copy. If you've enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star review on your favorite platform and follow me on Instagram for more insights. Can you think of one female entrepreneur or small business owner right now who could benefit from listening to this podcast? Please share this episode with them. And if you're ready to hand off the copy for your website, emails, and sales pages, head over to www.whitehousesm.com to book a complimentary copy chat with me. Let's partner together to take your business to the next level.